Hi everyone, I am Corey Loon. I am an executive and independent consultant with Jamberry Nails, and I am very excited about the topic of this video, which is time management and planning your calendar. While I realize that maybe half the people that just heard that are very intimidated by that topic, and the other half of the people that just heard that may be very excited about that topic. So there's probably a lot of mixed feelings, and I understand that. I would definitely fall into the category of people that are excited about that topic, because I feel like anything dealing with organizing or planning has just really been part of my DNA. So it comes very natural to me, but I also understand that not everyone operates in the same way or has the same needs for the exact same organizational system. So my disclaimer, I guess, for this video would just be use the grocery store technique. And what I mean when I say grocery store technique is just when you go to the grocery store, you don't go through every aisle and put every single item in that aisle into your cart. You just pick the stuff that you need for that week that is going to work well with the recipes you're making or fit your family's lifestyle or whatever it might be. So use the same technique when you're listening to the video. Just pick out the things that you need that may be helpful for you and your family, and leave the rest on the shelf, so to speak. Okay, so I realize that we all have very different schedules. We all have different roles. Some of us are wives. Some of us are full-time employees outside of the home. Some of us are moms. There are students. We're all business owners, and so we all have different responsibilities that come with those roles, as well as other social interests and hobbies and activities that we're involved in, which is completely okay. And we all have things inside of those roles that are non-negotiable. So we want to make sure that those basic needs are getting met. Like, for example, for us as individual people, we need to make sure that we're getting enough sleep and we're eating properly and we're showering and we're taking part in some sort of personal development routine, etc. Because we're living things, and living things die without proper care. And I know that saying seems kind of harsh, but really that's what the whole video is about, is just getting control of our life and our schedule so that we can work smarter and not necessarily work harder. When I first started my Jamberry business, I was super excited, and even now, several months into the journey, I'm still just as, if not more excited, and having just as much fun, if not more fun, than when I first started. But I will tell you that I have definitely made some changes in how I plan my calendar, and that's because when I first started, I literally, and I'm not afraid to say this, I felt like I was working around the clock, because I felt this pressure to immediately respond to every single notification I received, whether it was a text message or a Facebook alert or an email. And I just wanted to reply right away. And I felt like I was the only one that had the answers to the questions, which definitely is very far from the truth. And so, and instead of that, the opposite of that would just be setting some like controlled office hours or some allotted time to check in and devote strictly to my Jamberry business. And so I will give you guys like a real life honesty alert here, that some of the things I talk about in the video I have already implemented and feel like I'm doing fairly decent job at those things that I've put into place already. And then some of the things I'm just going to start implementing, because as I was preparing for this video, I definitely felt like I was preaching to myself as well, and there were some things that I needed to tweak and change. So I'm not perfect. I certainly don't claim to be, and I don't always follow my calendar 100%, but I try and use it as a loose guideline, and at the same time give myself a little flexibility and grace as well. In case things don't work out perfectly, I try not to keep it like super rigid, but hopefully that gives you a little overview of where I'm coming from. I am going to do the video kind of in like 3 parts. The first part, I'm just going to give some general tips and tricks in like time management and managing your calendar. The second part, I'm going to show you an actual example of my personal calendar and how I use calendar blocking to help me manage my time effectively. And then the third part is I'll give you a resource and a couple examples of how you might be able to implement some of these things in your own lives. So first, with a couple of tips is get your priorities in line. And I am going to speak to you from a very, very personal level, and I definitely don't want to impose any of my beliefs on you. So, you know, incorporate what's important to you here, obviously. But for me, personally, I wanted my priorities to be God, then family, and then business in that order. And I did not want to put Jamberry or anything else ahead of those things because I felt like I wouldn't find lasting happiness. I definitely wouldn't find lasting success. And for me personally, I felt like as I was honoring those things in that order, that my business would be blessed. And I feel like it has definitely been. One thing that I am going to start implementing is taking Sundays off, just because that's a day that we go to church, and it's typically a family day and a day of rest. And so I just want to completely unplug from all work and business related stuff, including social media and that type of thing, just so I can rest and rejuvenate, and that way I'm able to pour myself out more effectively, and I'm not getting burnt out the other 6 days of the week. And so that's something that is really important to me as far as priorities are concerned. The second tip would be to decide exactly what you want to accomplish with this business. Put your goals into writing and give them a deadline, and then back off from that deadline to determine exactly what you need to do each day to accomplish that goal in that specific time frame. So if you're setting April goals, and the last day of April you want to have achieved XYZ, or you want to have promoted to XYZ, then you would need to figure out what you needed in place, back off that until you knew exactly what you needed to do each day to help you achieve that end goal that you have set for yourself. So that's a really helpful tip as well when it comes to breaking down your daily calendar, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. The third thing I do before I start like calendar planning is just do like a brain dump or a brain download, so to speak, because I feel like especially as women, we have so many things running through our minds all the time. It's like we have a Windows screen open, and there's 20 or more different windows going at once. And so rather than having all those thoughts zigzag around in my brain, I just like to get them down onto paper. So I get the clutter out of my mind so I can think clearly, and then I have a clear game plan written out on what I need to get crossed off my to-do list. When it comes to booking calendars, the best thing to do, especially when related to Jamberry, would be to be booking your calendars a month in advance, so that we're always staying on top of our businesses and that we always have parties booked out in advance. I do my weekly calendars a little bit different. I sit down with my husband every Sunday night, and we kind of coordinate both of our calendars, and that way I know what he has going on, he knows what I have going on, and it just eliminates a lot of confusion throughout the week, and our days run a lot more smoothly that way when we do that. And then the last like general tip that I would give would be to put some systems in place that work for you. And so for example, I do home parties and Facebook parties, but for example, my Facebook parties, I always try and start on the same day. So, I always like to get them set up to start on Mondays. And that's just because if I'm running 2 or 3 parties at the same time, I use the same script. I don't have parties in all over the place. It's just very easy for me, to keep up with that in my head because it's systematic. It's a routine. It's a habit. And so if someone comes to me on a Wednesday, I say, oh, great. You want to do a Facebook party? I'll get you set up for this coming Monday and we'll go from there. It's going to be a ton of fun. So that's just something that I do. Another thing I do is live events through Facebook. I'll always set them up for like a Tuesday, Thursday. And that's something that we set ahead of time with our family. Okay, what evenings work for me to do live parties where I'm going to have to block out like an hour plus of my time to be just by the computer focusing on that. So a couple other systems that people use, like a Mail It Monday. If you have prizes that you're sending, samples that you're sending out, or if you're doing any sort of team incentives and you need to get things sent out, pick a day of the week where you're always going to be working on mailing. So Mail It Monday. Another example would be Training Tuesday. So that would be a great period to make sure you're up to date with the Jamberry Now call or trainings Jamberry has on the dashboard, like the social media training, etc. Maybe you need to catch up on some Jamberry University courses. So that would be a good day to do that. And then a last example of a system would be Follow Up Friday, where you take that time to follow up with all of your customers. So that is not obviously an all-inclusive list, but for the sake of the video and sake of time, those are some examples of systems and then just some general tips to help with calendar blocking. And so I am going to give you an example of what I do, and I do this with some highlighters, and I first take a look at my monthly calendar, which I will show you here in just a second after I explain what I use these 6 colors for. You may have 6 colors, you may have 1 or 2, I'm not sure. Again, like take this and personalize it for you. And your 6 colors may represent 6 totally different topics than I have, and that's okay, but I'll just share from me personally. Yellow for me is spiritual, so that would be anything like a quiet time, devotion, reading, church, that type of thing. Pink is family. We have 2 daughters, and then obviously myself. So my husband, poor guy, he loves it, but he's definitely outnumbered. So pink is for family time. Orange, went to Virginia Tech, go Hokies. And so I picked orange to be my personal color. So that's for anything that I need for me personally. And then blue is for home. So anything like laundry or unloading the dishwasher, little tasks like that, I block out in blue. And green, I'll do green next, is like work. So day job, businesses, anything like relating to money for me personally. I worked outside of the home in corporate sales for 9 years, and last month my company closed, and so I have experience in building the Jamberry business working full-time, and then I have experience in the Jamberry business working from home. My husband and I have a number of other business ventures we're involved with, and so I use green because that's currently where I'm focusing my time for right now for all of those business ventures. And then purple, obviously, is for just Jamberry. And so if I want to block out time specifically for Jamberry, and I obviously do, then I use purple. Okay, so that's what I do. I first take my monthly calendar and I block nights ahead of time where I want to have parties. So if I have family things going on, we're out of town, etc., I block all that ahead of time out. I take my calendar with me everywhere, and that way I'm in charge of my calendar. I'm dictating my schedule. If I'm at a party and I do a booking game and I've got 3 people that want to book parties, then I just whip out my calendar and say, oh great, anywhere where you see, this colored box that's open, feel free to write your name in, and we'll get your party all set up. It just makes it a lot easier because they're not saying, oh, well, can you do a party on Wednesday night? And I'm thinking in the back of my head, oh, my daughter has all-star cheerleading practice on Wednesdays. That's not really good, but I guess I could make it work. And, you know, no, I just take out the confusion that may cause, or the extra stress, I guess, not really confusion, but just extra stress on our family, because I know those nights really aren't good for me to rearrange my whole schedule just to have a party when there's plenty of other days available, if that makes sense. So I guess I will say that, I mean, nothing's set in stone. Like I said earlier, if someone wants, you know, to do a party and it's the last week of the month and I need TRV or PRV, then I'll figure out a way to have the party. You know, there's definitely some flexibility there, obviously, but this is just like a general rule of thumb, so to speak. Okay. So let me, give you an example of my planner. And this is just like an at-a-glance planner that I got from Staples. I've used the same one for years and years and years. There's a ton of fancy options out there that you can get, but this has just got like the monthly and then the weekly. And the weekly, which I'll go through in a little bit more detail, has the days broken down in like 15-minute increments. And then it's just got like folder packets in the back where I keep invitations to like baby showers and that type of thing. So anyway, let's start with the monthly, and I will show you all. I kind of, this is the February calendar, because I wanted to show you, that I had blocked out a couple evenings that would work for me to host Jamberry parties, either home parties or Facebook parties. And I had the 5th block, the 12th, the 16th, the 21st, and the 26th. And you can see that the 16th didn't get filled, but the 5th one got blocked out. The 12th, that one got taken. The 21st got taken. The 26th got taken. And so I was able to kind of fill in those holes throughout the month when I was talking to different hostesses. And so that's, my monthly calendar is not near as detailed as my daily calendar, but it just gives me an overview of what we have going on. And you can see these purple blocks here. Block those out because those are the recent Jamberry training, you know, get together dinners that I've been doing with some girls on my team. So anyhow, that is what the monthly calendar looks like. Now, here is what my daily calendar looks like. And I know probably for every single one of you, my daily schedule is not going to be very interesting to you. And the pages are falling out of this calendar, which because it's too full in the back. So I'm going to have to get a new one or something. But anyway, I'll figure that out. Okay, this is an example of the daily calendar. So you can see that I've got yellow highlighted here because it's my goal, something I'm really still working on, to get up and read and get myself grounded and get ready for the day. And then I put in some pink time because we've got to wake up the girls, get them dressed, ready, off to school, that type of thing. And then I've got some orange, like if I had a dentist appointment or a yoga class. So, you know, like I said, I'm going to work out or have an appointment or something, I put that in orange. And then the blue is where I would put in like, okay, you've got an hour to work on laundry because, side note, working from home from that experience is like, oh, I'll do a couple loads of laundry and then before you know it, I'm like cleaning out the, you know, closet and organizing our shoes and that type of thing. And before I know it, the whole day's gone and I'm like, oh, I had so many income producing activities that I needed to be doing to generate income, yet I just got tied up like doing little tedious house chores that definitely need to be done. But if you set an allotted time and you're like, okay, I have an hour, I'm going to work on X, Y, and Z around the house. And then when the time's up, like it's time to move on from that task. It just helps you stay on track. And then the green here obviously is for work. So if you're working outside the home, you need to block off your day for work. I personally, you know, have things like, you know, meet the accountant or go to the bank, different things that I need to take care of. That obviously includes things for Jamberry. So I've got time blocked out during the day for that. And then in the evening, I have pink again because girls get home, we have dinner, and we do family time and homework and baths and bedtime routine and all that stuff. So my husband and I are working really hard on when he gets home and the girls are home, then we put our phones away and we just take a couple hours to be with them and enjoy that time together and not worry about checking our phones every 3 seconds. And then after they're in bed, we've got a couple hours where we can do things together. We can work on business stuff, or I can go back to working on Jamberry. And so that's kind of how my day's planned. And then I used to stay up like half the night working on all this stuff, and now I just cut it off and say, okay, I'm going to get to bed at a reasonable hour and not be up all night. So that is just a very general outline. Again, like, I realize that not everyone might want to use that planner. But what I do is I have a master to-do list as well. And so it's the same categories that I have with my blocked calendar, but like personal, family, home, and then, work stuff. So here's my Jamberry to-do list. And every time I have Jamberry blocked out on my calendar, then I pull out my to-do list and I say, oh, what's the next thing on my to-do list that I need to get taken care of? Okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Well, I can work on that and get that crossed off. So that is just things that I constantly want to be working on, that I keep on that list. Every time a new thought pops into my head or something else I need to do, I write it down there, and then I refresh that list once a week. So like I was talking about, that brain dumping type thing. So the ongoing to-do list is great, but something that I am getting ready to implement in my daily schedule is setting aside an exact power hour. So what that is something that Belinda Ellsworth, one of the Jamberry trainers, has mentioned quite a few times, and it's breaking an hour down into 15-minute increments, and it really helps you stay on task, where you're not going to check Facebook messages, you're not going to say, I'm going to get on Facebook and build my business, but you have like specific tasks that you're working on, and you don't get like sidetracked down all these rabbit trails. So, an example of that might be like, okay, I'm going to work an hour on my business tonight, and my power hour is going to look like this. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on recruiting. So I'm going to follow up with people who have expressed interest in joining in the past. I'm going to invite people to an upcoming opportunity event or a sneak peek weekend or whatever it might be. I'm going to reach out to any hostesses I may have to see if they have an interest in joining. Any type of recruiting leads that you have currently, you definitely want to spend 15 minutes kind of following up on those leads. Then you might want to do 15 minutes on booking. So reset the timer, and you might say, okay, I'm going to constantly work on booking parties, because here's the thing. If you don't have any parties, that's basically the beginning of the end, from what I've been told. And I could not, agree with that statement more, because parties equal sales, and parties also equal recruits. And so you always want to be doing like a green light challenge, or calling or emailing or texting or whatever you need to do, friends, asking for referrals, and continuing to book more parties. Let's see, the next 15 minutes might be working on your personal sales, so your PRV. So do you have any parties on Facebook going on? Do you need to post in those parties? Do you need to follow up with recent samples that you've sent out? Do you need to follow up with your past customers? Anything that will generate more PRV. And then the last 15 minutes would be working with your team. So if you've got a downline, you want to find out, what are their goals? What do they need from you? Is there anything you can post in the team page to encourage or uplift or recognize them? Do you need to follow up with people in your team that are still in their fast start period to find out what they still need to do? Do you have to answer questions? Is there any information you need to create, marketing images, etc., etc.? Do they want to know how to get their PRV up? Are they game planning on how to reach the next promotion? All those type of things kind of come into the team. And so it's really easy to let that kind of overtake what you need to do for your personal business. And so by blocking it out in 15-minute increments, you are really dividing your time to where you can be effective in each area and run a very balanced business, so to speak. So let me show you guys an example of something that you can use if you like this concept and don't have a planner. This is from the passionplanner.com. So if you go to passionplanner.com, you can actually print off these two 8x11 whatever just normal sheets of paper. You can print this off, and what I did is I just stapled them into like a manila envelope here. And this is a weekly schedule broken down into increments 8 to 10:30. It's got like a personal to-do list, a work to-do list, like extra note section here. But every day is broken down by half an hour time slots. And you can try this whole calendar blocking yourself. So for example, if you are, someone that works, I'm not going to go through a real detailed example because I gave you my own, but you might block out, 8 to 5 every day. You're going to highlight in green, and then you can put the work activities that you need to do there. And let's just say, for the sake of an example, you use, blue as your family time while you're coming home, 5:30 to 8. You've got your family, and then you want to spend let's just say you're an advanced consultant and you want to spend 1 hour on your business every evening. Or if you're a senior lead consultant and your downline's growing, you want to spend 2 hours on your business every evening. Whatever it is, for whatever level and whatever time commitment that you want to put into your business, you can block that out in the evening. So let's say 8:30 to 10:30, you're going to do that, and then you're going to go to bed or whatever it might be. Now, if you don't want to spend all that time in the evening, maybe you want to do 8:30 to 9:30 in the evening, and then you want to go hang out with your husband or do whatever else you want to do. Maybe, just maybe, you can take part of your lunch hour, so you might want to block out 12 to 1 here and add some Jamberry time right there as well. If you're an early morning person, I know some people that really are, you might want to get up and work 6 to 7 on Jamberry before you go to work. And I think that, as you start to kind of calendar block your schedule, you'll get a lot more peace because you won't feel guilty when, you are here in this time spending time with your family, because you've got other blocks of time that you can fit your business in. And you also will still be a very good employee if you're working outside the home, because you're focusing on work during the allotted times when you're there, and you're not trying to build your Jamberry business all day long. And that's just a quick little example, and how you can kind of fit it into your schedule, and that the business isn't going to overtake your schedule. So, but I do at the same point in time think it's important to schedule that time in, and so that it does get the focus that it needs. If you are wanting to grow a team and wanting to move into leadership, then it is going to take some work. It is going to take some required effort. It is a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth it. The rewards are worth it, but it's going to take a little bit of attention. So figuring out how to best work it into your calendar will help you, I think. So just as we wrap up, I guess I'll just leave you with saying, be present in your time. Whatever it is, whatever task you're doing, focus on it. You'll get so much more accomplished, and start with the hard things first that you don't want to do. Start with the thing you like the least, I guess, first in your power hour. And then after you get that done for 15 minutes, you are going to gain so much self-esteem and so much self-confidence, and the rest of your hour, you're just going to be kicking butt. So I guess I'll just leave you guys with a couple, quotes that I found on time management. And the first one is, if you don't decide how you will spend your time, others will decide for you. And that's a pretty known fact, so work hard for your dreams, or else you'll be working hard for someone else's dreams. So unfortunately, and fortunately, that's just the way it goes. The other one of the other ones I thought was pretty cute, pretty funny, is time flies, but the good news is you're the pilot. And so you get to decide the direction you're headed by in your life by the way you spend your time. And then lastly, I'll just leave you with this, that we all do things different. We all got our businesses started off on a different foot. Maybe you're already really good at calendar planning and organizing. Maybe it's not your best strength. The thing is you can't make up for lost time, but you can only do better in the future. So here's to great future planning and better futures ahead for all of us. If you have any questions specifically, please feel free to reach out to me. And I wish you all the success you guys are willing to work for. Have a great one, and I'll be talking to you real soon. Bye-bye.